Today we are discussing about corrosion. Introduction of corrosion. Metals are highly reactive and do not exist in native states. The metals in the form of minerals are more stable than in the pure state. Metals are separated from their ores in the process of metallurgy. Pure metals are converted into oxides or sulfide minerals in nature. The reverse process of metallurgy is called corrosion. Nearly 1/4 of total production of metals is destroyed by corrosion. Hence, corrosion should be prevented by using some methods. Definition of corrosion: the process of deterioration or destruction of metal and consequent loss of a solid metallic material through an unwanted chemical or electrochemical attack by its environment is called corrosion. Example: rusting of iron, it forms iron oxide, ferric oxide. Second example: formation of green layer on the surface of copper, it forms copper carbonate. Third example: tarnishing of silver, it forms silver sulfide. These are examples of corrosion. Next topic: factors influencing the rate of corrosion. First factor is purity of the metal. Pure metal do not undergo corrosion. In impure metals, impurities form small electrochemical cell and increase the rate of corrosion. It means pure metal does not undergo corrosion, but impure metals undergoing corrosion. Example: zinc metal containing impurities like lead or iron undergoes corrosion readily. Next, second factor: physical state of metal. The rate of corrosion depends on grain size and stress of the metal. The smaller grain size and more stress of metal increases the rate of corrosion. The stressed areas act as anode and undergoes corrosion. Third factor: humidity of air. The rate of corrosion is more in humid atmosphere. The water moisture in atmosphere favors the formation of electrochemical cells and increases the rate of corrosion. The rate of corrosion is more in humid atmosphere. This is directly proportional to humidity. Next, fourth factor: pH. The rate of corrosion is more in acidic medium than in alkaline or neutral medium, as H plus ion enhance the rate of corrosion. The rate of corrosion is decreased by increasing pH value of medium. So already we know pH is less than 7 is acids, pH is more than 7 is a bases. So the rate of corrosion, the speed of corrosion is decreased by increasing pH value of a medium. Means rate of corrosion is more in acidic medium. Next factor is temperature. The rate of corrosion is more at high temperatures. It means the rate of corrosion is directly proportional to the temperature. When temperature increases, rate of corrosion also increases. Example: corrosion of boiler takes place at high temperatures. Next factor: oxygen concentration. Oxygen required for reduction and galvanic cells are formed due to difference in the concentration of oxygen. Corrosion takes place at less oxygenated areas. These are factors. So factors influencing the rate of corrosion: first one is purity of the metal, second one is physical state of the metal, third one is humidity of air, fourth one pH, next temperature, last one oxygen concentration. Next, electrochemical theory of corrosion. This theory was introduced by Whitney. Corrosion is a electrochemical process and takes place at anodic part. Metals are highly electropositive as they lose electrons easily and undergoes corrosion. According to this theory, galvanic cells are set up during corrosion between two dissimilar metals or two different parts of the same metal. The metal placed higher in the electrochemical series is act as anode and undergoes corrosion. In the galvanic cell, electrons flow from anode to cathode through conducting medium. Next, formation of different types of cells. The first one is composition cell or galvanic cell. The cells formed between two different metals when they are contact with each other in corrosion medium are called composition cells. So the cells formed between two different metals when they are contact with each other in the corrosion medium are called composition cell. Example, when zinc and copper are electrically connected in an electrolyte, zinc is anode and undergoes corrosion. So here zinc acts as anode, it easily undergoes corrosion. Next example, steel pipe connected to copper plumbing, steel pipe is act as an anode and undergoes corrosion. These are examples of composition cells. Next, the second one is stress cells. So stress cells formed between stressed area and unstressed area of the metal. Cells formed between stressed areas and unstressed areas of same metal due to difference in energy levels are called stress cells. Stress cells are formed between different parts of the same metal. Stress cells are formed between different parts of the same metal. The stressed part act as a anode and unstressed area act as a cathode. Here stressed area easily undergoes corrosion. Example, in a nail, the more stressed areas of end and a head part act as a anode and undergoes corrosion. The middle part is act as a cathode. This is a stress cell. Stress cells is formed between stressed area and unstressed area of same metal. Stressed area act as a anode, unstressed area act as a cathode. Here stressed area easily undergoing corrosion. Third one is concentration cells. Cells formed due to difference in the concentration of the electrolyte or oxygen. So here concentration cells formed between different concentration of oxygen or different concentration of electrolyte around the surface of metal in called concentration cells. Example, when zinc metal is immersed in a sodium chloride solution, the immersed part undergoes corrosion due to less concentration of oxygen. Another example, iron undergoes corrosion below the water drop due to less concentration of oxygen. So concentration cells formed between less concentration of oxygen and high concentration of oxygen. Here less concentration of oxygen act as an anode and easily undergoing corrosion. These are three types. Formation of different types of cells. Here first one is composition cell. Second one is stress cell. Third one is concentration cells. Next topic is rusting of iron and its mechanism. When a piece of iron is placed in the environment for some time, it gets coated with reddish brown color substance called rust, and the phenomenon is called rusting. So when a piece of iron is placed in environment for some time, it gets coated with reddish brown color. So it is called rust. This phenomenon is called rusting. Conditions necessary for rusting. The phenomenon takes place in the presence of moisture and air. So the presence of air and water vapor in air are two necessary conditions for the rusting of iron. Mechanism of rusting of iron. The H plus ions are obtained either from water or from acidic substances in water. The hydrogen atoms on the iron surface reduce dissolved oxygen. The ferrous ions are oxidized further by atmospheric oxygen to form rust. Therefore, this is the mechanism of rust with the chemical formula Fe2O3, ferric oxide. So here equations are absent. So equations also must. You will read in textbook, you will see mechanism of rusting of iron. Equations also important. This is the rusting of iron. Next one, prevention of corrosion and some methods. So first one is protective coating. Corrosion is a surface phenomenon and can be prevented by applying protective coatings. Protective coatings also classified into two types: metallic coatings, non-metallic coatings. First of all, we are discussing about metallic coatings. Coatings of one metal over another metal in order to protect the metal from corrosion is called metallic coatings. Based on type of metal used for coating, metallic coatings are divided into two types. First one is anodic coating, second one is cathodic coating. Anodic coating. In these coatings, more active metal is coated over less active metal or base metal is called anodic coating. See, in anodic coatings, more active metal is coated over less active metal. Next one is cathodic coatings. In these coatings, less active metal is coated over base metal. Here examples: anodic coating example, coating of zinc on aluminum or iron. Cathodic coatings example, coating of tin on copper or iron. So metallic coatings two types: anodic coatings and cathodic coatings. In anodic coating, more active metal is coated over less active metal. In cathodic coating, less active metal is coated over base metal. Here difference between anodic coatings and cathodic coatings. Here difference between anodic coatings and cathodic coatings. Here first of all, definition. Anodic polarization. Anodic polarization is the electrochemical process of changing an electrode's potential in the positive direction. The definition of cathodic polarization. Cathodic polarization is the electrochemical process of changing an electrode's potential in the negative direction. Process. Anodic polarization, changing the potential of an electrode in the positive direction. Process of cathodic polarization, changing the potential of an electrode in the negative direction. Reaction. This anodic polarization undergoing oxidation, cathodic polarization undergoing reduction. Uses of anodic polarization: to measure and protect surfaces against corrosion. Uses of cathodic polarization: protection against the surface corrosion when the potential difference is reduced to a minimum value. These are differences between anodic coating and cathodic coatings. Non-metallic coatings. Non-metallic coatings also classified into two types: inorganic coatings and organic coatings. In inorganic coatings, again three types. First one is phosphate coating. It can be produced by dipping the base metal in the solution formed from phosphoric acid and phosphate of zinc and iron, or manganese and iron. It is useful for metals like iron, steel, zinc, etc. Next one is chromate coatings. It can be produced by dipping the base metal in the bath of acidic potassium chromate and then neutral chromate solutions. It is useful for metals like of zinc, aluminium, magnesium and cadmium. Third one is oxide coatings. It is obtained by the chemical reaction of base metal with alkaline oxidizing solutions. They serve as base primer coatings for oils, greases and waxes. These are non-metallic coatings. So non-metallic coatings are three types. Here first one is inorganic coatings. In inorganic coatings, second three types: phosphate coating, chromate coating, oxide coating. Next one is organic coatings. The important organic coating are plastics, paints, varnishes, lacquers, enamels applied on metallic surface for both corrosion, protection and decoration. Plastics are effective protective coatings under severe conditions like seawater and industrial atmosphere. Chemicals like biosphenol is also used. These are organic coatings. So non-metal coatings, three types: inorganic coatings, organic coating. Next one is cathodic protection. This topic is cathodic protection. In this method, the metal to be protected from corrosion is made as cathode by connecting with more active metal or by applying impressed voltage. The more active metal acts as anode and undergoes corrosion in order to protect the base metal from corrosion. Cathodic protection is two types. First one is sacrificial anode method. So cathodic protection is classified in two types. Here two methods is there. Here first one is sacrificial anode method. In sacrificial anode method, the metal to be protected for corrosion is connected to more active metal in electrochemical series. The more active metal is act as a anode and base metal act as a cathode. The anodic metal undergoes corrosion in order to protect base metal, and it is called sacrificial anode. This method is called sacrificial anode method. The metal to be protected for corrosion is connected to more active metal in electrochemical series. The more active metal is act as a anode and base metal act as a cathode. The anodic metal undergoes corrosion in order to protect base metal, and it is called sacrificial anode. This method is called sacrificial anode method. Example, the buried iron pipes are protected from corrosion by connecting with more active metals like magnesium, aluminum, etc. The more active metals act as sacrificial anode and undergoes corrosion. Second example, galvanization. The process of coating of zinc over iron is called galvanization. The zinc prevents iron from corrosion by act as sacrificial anode. This is a sacrificial anode method. Second method is impressed voltage method. In this method, current opposite to corrosion current is applied from a source like a battery using graphite anode. This current is called impressed voltage. The impressed voltage converts anodic metal to cathode and protect the base metal from corrosion. In this method, current opposite to corrosion current is applied from a source like a battery using graphite anode. This current is called impressed voltage. The impressed voltage converts anodic metal to cathode and protect the base metal from corrosion. The anode is inert material and have to be replaced from time to time. Anode is buried in a bag filled to increase the electrical contact between anode and surrounding earth. This method is useful for large structures for long-term operations. It is applicable to open water box coolers, water tanks, condensers, transmission line towers, marine pipes, etc. This is an impressed voltage method. So generally two methods is there, sacrificial anode method and impressed voltage method. Left side diagram indicates sacrificial anode method, right side diagram indicates impressed voltage method. Next topic is paints. Homogeneous mixture of compounds which after application to substrate in a thin layer converts to solid film after oxidation or evaporation or polymerization is called paint. Homogeneous mixture of compounds which after application to substrate in a thin layer converts to solid film after oxidation or evaporation or polymerization is called paint. Constituents of paints. Following are the important constituents of paint. First one is binders. It is a film forming component and form film on evaporation of a solvent. Resins are generally used for this purpose. Example, epoxy resins, polyurethane resins, etc. Next one, pigments. It is added to paint to give color, opacity, gives aesthetic look to the paint. Example, zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, red oxide, white lead, etc. Next one is thinner. It is used to dissolve the binder and the binder to facilitate application of paint. These act as carrier for binders and pigments. Example, turpentine oil, benzene, ethyl alcohol, acetone. Fourth one, dryers. These are added to paint to speed up the drying process. It is added in small quantity before use of paint. Example, metal salt of organic acid like lead, magnesium, cobalt extras. Lead estate, cobalt estate extras. Fillers, the materials added to paint increase the volume bulk of paint, to increase the thickness of film and to reduce cost are called fillers. Example, calcium carbonate, gypsum, silica, barytes extras. Additives, chemical substances added in small amount to modify the properties of paints are called additives. Example, plasticizers, emulsifiers, fungicides, biocides, etc. These are constituents of paints: binders, pigments, thinner, dryer, fillers, additives. Last topic, characteristics of a good paint. The following are important properties of a good paint. It should have high binding power and gives required color. It should resist the change in atmospheric conditions. It should produce washable film. It should resist corrosion. It should form glossy film. Film should not fade out on long time. Film should not be peeled off over a time. It should not absorb moisture. These are characteristics of good paints. Thank you.